As I said, he's the thinker, I'm the talker, but these really are combined thoughts of both of ours. Over the last 2 days, especially people who've trained, one of the things you'll have heard a lot is Avi say our kids are sick. And they are. You're here because your Rav, your Das Torah, has said that your kid is a chole. So we started TP about 2.5 years ago. And we thought we were really doing a good job. We were making progress. Our NKN, you all know NKN? Okay, our NKN really was growing tremendously. He began respecting our house. And before we started TP, he was cooking treif in our house, in our pots, and then saying, no, it wasn't, I didn't cook that in your pots, I cooked something, whatever it was. But he was cooking treif in our pots. We now have new milchik pots. But once we started TP, he really began respecting the house. At that point, was he keeping kosher? Absolutely not. But he really only does it in his room. A friend had called him if she could stay with us, and she was it was Shabbos, and she was using her computer in the living room, and he said, "Where's your derech eretz? We don't do that. You want to do that? Do it in the room you're staying in. Do it privately. You don't have to do it publicly." What you were saying about anger, we both wound up in the hospital because of anger issues. We have shalom bayis in the house now. He talks to us about everything. You're going to learn about the bombs later on. Bombs are gifts or time spent together doing special things. At the beginning, you bomb once a week, and then it's less. We've actually been bombing every Friday since we started, because one of the things he said to us was, I look forward to Shabbos. So how are we going to stop bombing on Friday if he looks forward to Shabbos? We have our house is full of kips. We never know how many are going to be there. And we are very, very lucky. We have amazing neighbors who really are great about the craziness. And we really thought we had the TP thing down. July 26, 2021. I remember the date very, very clearly. He had something wrong, something on his face. And we had taken him to a plastic surgeon who walks out with him, and in the most not nice way possible, the unkindest way possible, he turned to us and said, your son has cancer. And I think TP helped us make it through the office visit, and it turned out it was a misdiagnosis, but he was so arrogant about it. Our big 21-year-old son sat in the car with me crying. And, it's almost funny in a way. He was crying because he was afraid he was going to lose his hair. It was Gehenna. It really was. It was just, I don't know what to say. The next 6 weeks were a nightmare of doctor's visits, CT scans, MRIs, biopsies, surgery where they found 2 tumors. Both of them, Baruch Hashem, were benign. But what we discovered is, at that point, that twisted parenting is a misnomer. That is not the right name. There is nothing twisted about it. Because if you really accept that your child is sick, what won't you do for them? If he had asked us, for another, well, you'll learn about the giant screen TV shortly. If he'd asked us for another TV, we would have said, fine, another Xbox, great. A car, he doesn't have a license, we would have bought him one. It wouldn't have mattered. Nothing would have mattered. See, our Das Torah has diagnosed our son as a chola sheyesh bo sakana. But for the most part, we really don't treat him, we don't think of it that way. And unfortunately, I've kind of taken a step backwards again in recognizing he's sick. Because if I really, really recognized he's sick, when I come down to the kitchen that I had left immaculately clean the night before, and it's a really disgusting mess, if I really recognize him as sick, I would say, yay, he's eating. While we were writing this, he was upstairs shrieking while he was gaming. And would it bother me if I really thought of him as sick? No, it wouldn't. I'd say, I'm so happy he has the energy to be shrieking. Nothing about his kippish behaviors would upset me, because I would recognize that the source of it is his illness. Nothing about any of their behaviors would bother any of us, because we would really understand that it comes from a place of sickness. They are ill. They're the sweetest, most loving kids in the world. But it's the illness that gets in the way. And really what we've discovered is what we really need to do is just to twist our perception of how we view our children. Because if we really, really view them as sick, this journey will be so much easier. Thank you.